everyone, it's Shari Carroll from Hero Arts, here to bring you a video on how to mix up your stamps. I've chosen two stamps, a flower that has some great stems and also a cling set that's great blossoms. And here's a peek at the card that I created. I've used the stems from the one stamp and the blossoms from the other to create a totally different look. So I'll start off with my Starburst stamp first, and I'm just going to ink up the stems only, and by doing that I can just use my Sukaneko marker. And I can just go ahead and color in really quickly just down each of the stems. I don't have to be perfect, I can just do this really quick because my blossoms will cover up everything. So before I stamp this, I want to go ahead and mist this a little bit with my mini mister, and it just has plain water, and I'm just kind of blocking my other paper out of the way. So a couple spritzes of water. And then I'm just going to stamp onto, I don't know why that got so blurry, sorry, stamp onto regular snow cardstock. And I'm just going to let that sit for a second, soak into the paper, and now I have my stems. To save some time, I've already white embossed my flowers onto some really pretty Konnichiwa paper by Basic Gray. I love this set of paper. It's very bright and vibrant, and the prints are really nice and small, which is great for card making. And you can see as I flip through just the great colors in here. Nice combinations. So I've pre-embossed, and what I like to do once I cut them out, I like to kind of curl the petals up, and I'm just running my fingers up each petal, and it just starts to bend forward. So it's like you're putting more pressure on the front side than you are the back side, and that kind of bows in a cup like that. I've already put my foam adhesive on the back, so now all I need to do is start sticking it onto my stems. And you can do this right away as the paper's drying. You don't have to wait for it to dry completely. So when you put your flowers down, you want to make sure that it clears the top, because this is a 5.5-inch tall piece of paper, so I want to make sure that that clears the top. It'll be able to go into an envelope. And now I can start tucking in my smaller flowers underneath. And again, these all have foam tape on them. So once I have the position, I'll just kind of press them down a little bit. And as you can see, I'm covering up all those little smudges of green from my marker as I place my flowers back in. So they go right back where the other flowers were. So it's really nice, has a great depth, and I love how it's all layered. So here I have a piece of daffodil cardstock that I've cut just a little bit wider than my strip of paper, and I'll just use my adhesive, go ahead and run down the sides. It's going to stick off a little bit on each side, so I haven't put adhesive onto the very edges. So this is just going to be mounted and a little peak of yellow on each side of the white. So once you have that in place, you can go ahead and press down and make sure it sits flat. Oops, got my little petal in the way. So the next thing I want to do is stamp my greeting, and I have this great set here. This is a really nice, has a multitude of greetings, and I'll just be stamping thanks, and I'm using Cup of Joe mid-tone shadow ink, and I'm just going to ink this up, and I'll go ahead and get my head right in the way for you and stamp that right onto this paper. So now that sits nice and flat. And now I'm ready to work on my note card. So I have my newspaper background here. Love the stamp, it's one of my newest favorites, and also my unicorn white pigment ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and press this all onto the stamp. This is one of those stamps that you also need to have in your toolbox. It's definitely an essential to keep around. So I've created my note card with craft paper. I like top folding cards, so I just cut a 8.5 and 11 by sheet, 8.5 by 11 sheet in half, and here I'm just pressing it down onto the stamp, and I'm using scrap paper, actually from yesterday. You can see my vase on there. So once that's pressed in, here's how my image looks, and I absolutely adore white on craft. So now I can start the rest of the assembly, and I'll go ahead and just add some adhesive to the back of my panel here. I always like to put some in the center and make sure I get the top and bottom really well. So I'll center this onto the card, and I'll get my head in the way for you again. And once I have that lined up, I'll press it down. And now I have a great little strip of Konnichiwa paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and put my adhesive on this. This is about a 1/2 inch strip, so it's 1/2 inch by 6 inches. So once I have this in place, I can go ahead and just trim off the excess on the side. Alright, so now I have a button that I threaded with some twine, and I've already added my glue dot to save some time. And then I have the Hero Arts dots, and I'm using an orange, which is going to go in the pink flower, a green, which will go in the orange flower, and a pink, which will go into the blue flower. So just press those in place, and now all the flowers have a flower center. To finish things off, I have some pool ribbon here, and I've already tied it in a bow. And this is our brand new pool ribbon, and these colors are just fabulous. So it comes in the light, medium, and dark tones, and I've used the mid-tone for this. It's also a pull button that I used at the top there. So I've already put a glue dot in the center of my bow, and I just press it into place, and my card's complete. So here's another look at the photo and the up close of the flowers. I love all the colors of spring and how it pops. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and please visit us at www.heroarts.com for more inspiration and ideas. Thanks for watching.